Hey everybody, it's Chris, and we have a crazy one today. This is probably the best quality slash quantity of stuff. So this is the past 2 weekends of yard sales. Nothing else. I didn't go to any thrift stores, didn't go to the flea market, anything like that. And it's just, it's kind of intense. Some of the stuff's already gone, like a few games or accessories or something. And then there were also just a ton of controllers for all this stuff, and for all this there's just a ton. So let's go as fast as we can. So this is actually a free bag of Pokemon cards. I got a yard sale that I bought the Wii and the PS2 over there. I paid $25 for those. Came in 2 games. Came with some Wii Motion Plus controllers, so great deal there for 25. And I was looking at these, and the lady was like, you can just have them. And I was like, all right, not even gonna look through them. I just grabbed them and went. There's a couple reverse hollow cards, lots of energy, lots of common from what I could see, but I haven't even opened it, so could be something decent in there, but I think it's mostly modern stuff, so I'm not really sure. Got a VCR, Sony VCR, for $2 at another yard sale. That'll go for about 70-ish. And then let's just get into these games. I paid $100 at a yard sale. This stuff was pretty dirty. I think I spent an hour cleaning it. I've only tested the Sega Master System, but what was included was all of these games, 2 of which are kind of nuts. I'll show you in a bit. Sega Master System, Atari 2600, Atari 2600 Junior, and Intellivision, which is a little messed up because if you look there, the power button is on the inside, but it's bigger than that hole, so it makes me think they took it apart and they put it back together wrong. So not sure if that's going to work, but Sega Master System works. That's the money back right there. Even after fees, I might even make like $5 or $6. But yeah, tons of games. Not that many Sega Master System games, which I was kind of bummed about. It came with 2, one of which I just found, which I knew I had it. It was Hang On Safari Hunt, but when I went to test it, I could not find this. I looked through the box so many times, and then, of course, found it. But that's the game that comes with it. It probably works. But yeah, so tons of manuals for this Atari stuff. No boxes, but tons of Intellivision boxes. So let's just get into it. So one of the better common games, Frogger. It's going to go for about 10, 15. The rest of these are kind of whatever, except for the 2 I'll show you in a bit. Trick Shot, Asteroids, Defender, Fast Eddie. That might be decent. Atlantis, Bowling, Defender again, Video Olympics, Star Raiders, Outer Space, and a lot of these, I gotta glue or tape some of this stuff back on. Breakout, yeah, a lot of them are missing this, and I just have like a handful of labels. Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, Berserk, Sword Quest, Fire World. So I've just been lotting like 10 games or like 12 games and selling them for like 15 to 25 depending on the games. Doing pretty well that way. So that's probably what I'll do with most of these because they haven't really been selling well on Amazon. Armor Ambush, Astro Blast, Frogs and Flies. I think that's a decent one. Baseball, football, Stampede. 34 telegames. And interplanetary ballistic missiles, anti-ballistic missiles. This might be Missile Command, because a lot of these telegames are actual games, and they say it here, and then it's just some other stuff. So basketball, I'll find out when I play it. Atlantis, actually some are hard to find out even when you play it. Skyjinx, Circus Atari, wouldn't be a Atari lot without that. Grand Prix, and another copy of Berserk. I think I had a copy of Combat floating around. I don't know if I put it back in. This is actually, I think, the one Intellivision game that didn't have a box, unless I just forgot to put it in the box. But Sharp Shot, Walk and Chase, that's also an okay one. Sword Quest Earthworld. The best/worst game. E.T. I think I do have the front label. This is a game that has gone up in price, I think, since that documentary about them burying it. I think Microsoft put it out like 10 years ago almost, but it's gone up decently since then. Asteroids, and I think that Netflix show, High Score, might have also helped recently. Defender. Just people like wanting to say they own it. Star Voyager. Phoenix, Outlaw, Chopper Command, Smurf, not the Smurfs, but Smurf. Racquetball, this might be decent. Anything that looks a little different, like Apollo, I think puts out decent valued ones. I can't remember currently. Combat, I think I glued this back on, so that's looking decent for a glue stick. Mystery game, I think this is Pac-Man. Keystone Capers, I want to say that's a decent one too. Is that Apollo? Or that's Activision. Space Invaders, Spider Fighter, Laser Blast, Target Fun. So if you look there, it's like, these are the games, blah, 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 but the actual game's right there. Night Driver, and Cosmic Arc. So lots of Atari games. Honestly, that's probably like 100, 150-ish. I might just lot them all together and see how that goes. I haven't done a huge Atari lot. I'll get to the Intellivision games and the other Sega Master System game. World Grand Prix, nothing special. There was a case for hockey as well, but there was no game. So Burger Time is always good on any console. I think it's almost guaranteed $10 on anything. So yeah, there's a label right there. Basketball. Tron Mazatron, I think that's decent. That might be like $10 there. Football. Space Hawk. Happy Trails. I'm not sure about this one. This one might be decent. I've never heard of it. Astro Smash. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is okay. I think that's like 8 to 12. Bowling. Night Stalker. Star Strike. Sea Battle. Space Battle. New Beauty and the Beast. Frog Bog. And Las Vegas Poker and Blackjack, which comes with like every Intellivision I've ever bought. And now, these are games I never thought I would find. It's not here, but you might be familiar with a game called Custer's Revenge. These are similar games to that. So Mystique, I forget if Mystique's the developer or the publisher. I'm guessing the publisher, but yeah. Here we go. So it presents Swedish erotic. Bachelor Party is one of them, and the other is it is Beat 'em and Eat 'em. So those are two games I never thought I would find. So those are like adult only, like, well, they weren't rated back then, but basically they were adult games with nudity, as one could put it. And yeah, they're worth a bunch. I think Bachelor Party, I think this one's worth like 125 to 150, and this Beat 'em and Eat 'em, it looks like 75 to 100, but I don't think those had these cases, so we'll see how much I really get for those. Yeah, really funny to find those in there. And yeah, so that was it for the games that came with them. Yeah, so Master System Works. The Ataris, it had one power cord, but it was frayed, so I threw it out. And again, I think I have to take apart the Intellivision so I can access the power switch. But hopefully, you know, I usually sell an Atari for about 90 to 100. Usually sell an Intellivision for 90 to 100. The Junior usually goes for about 50 to 60. And the Master System's probably like 120-ish. It had the gun as well. It had one controller that worked and one that was broken. So I think, yeah, 120 to maybe even like 150 because of the gun. So decent there. Then I'll just do that real quick. A copy of Girl Talk. There was another version as well that was like had a speaker with it, but it didn't have the tape player or the tapes. So I'm not sure how much that would have been worth. This was complete, however. This will go for about 70-ish. Paid $3, I think, for both. Then got some Legos. The little Batman set on the top right. Paid. Oh, actually, I got those. I got that and the two juniors for I think 50 at a yard sale where I got another Wii at the bottom there. I paid I think $10 for the Wii and a bunch of controllers. I paid 50 maybe even 45 for the Legos. And then I also got this Kingdom Hearts sealed Mur, Sora, and Ariel. This is like the original when the first game came out. They said they had more and they wanted my number so that they could sell me more. They said they would definitely call, so it sounds better than most of the other people who say like I could take your number, like they wanted my number, so hopefully they call back. But I already sold the top one with the Superman and Batman for $59.99, I believe, so just about broke even on those there. I make the money on the other two sets, and then the Prince of Persia set paid $5 at a yard sale. And then I asked the lady if she had video games. She went and got me that third Wii. Oh, actually, no. That third Wii came from somewhere else. The Wii she went and got me after like 15 minutes of her and her son like searching for everything. Like they were bringing me like one piece at a time. The Wii ended up being broken. It wouldn't read discs. But came with a copy of Mario Kart right there. So that like kind of like breaks even for me. I'll probably make a little money on it. And then there's some accessories and cords. So it wasn't a total loss, but the Lego set I think I'll go for like 30-ish. So it's Prince of Persia. It's not like a super popular set. It's from like the movie. So not really sure how long I'll be sitting on that. But one more Lego thing. Got a little Lego Creator set for 50 cents. That'll go for about 15. I paid $5 at a yard sale. I got this mug. This Disney World mug with Tigger. This was just kind of weird. An Exxon Yorktown, which I believe is the ship. Dedication to the ship, I think. I'm not sure. I paid $5 for those, plus Namco Museum, a copy of Mario Sunshine, which is already sold. That went for 80. There we go. Gators, The Revenge of Gator, and Pac-Man Pinball, plus a copy of Twilight Princess and an empty case for Mario Galaxy 2. I paid $1 for, so yeah, $5 for all that stuff. Mario already sold for 80. Those games aren't going to go for too much. Twilight Princess for Wii would have been better if it was for GameCube, but that went for, or will go for like 30-ish right now because it's complete. And I'll hold on to the Galaxy 2 case. Then we'll go through this stuff. So this I also got at the yard sale with the Prince of Persia. It was like a multi-family, multi-house. So I asked her for iPods. She went and got it. I came back 15 minutes later. And I paid, I think, $2 or $3 for this. It's just a Gen 2 Nano. Nothing special. Probably go for about 20 after I get a cord. Then, so I paid $5. I got Pokemon Yellow, which I haven't gotten to work, which is unfortunate. A Game Boy Advance SP, which works, but no charger. This Polaroid camera, Polaroid Spirit, which won't go for too much. And then I think it's in the stack here. Copy of Deadpool for PS4. And then I think like a copy of Midnight Club Dub Edition, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition for Xbox, which I think it was going for a lot during like the beginning of the pandemic lockdown. I don't know that it's going for too much now. But yeah, so I have to figure out how to get this to work. I've cleaned the pins, so it might just be faulty at this point. But yeah, we're gonna come back to this. Got a TI-84 Plus CE for 15. This is one of those color screen ones, which is kind of fancy. You have to charge it, which is annoying actually. But this color is hard to find on Amazon, so I'm not really sure if it's gonna go for like the $100 it's worth. So might have to throw it on eBay. Then a copy of Perudo. I found a bunch of different versions of this over the years. It all seems to sell for around 30 to 40, so I always grab it no matter what form it is, unless it's like the brand new ones, because I think those sell for like 15. A copy of Dungeons and Dragons. Is this second edition? This might be first. I kind of am not sure. Either way, you let me know, actually. I think it's missing a book and it's missing the dice, so $2 isn't too bad. Got a Kindle for $5 in the box. I don't buy Kindles too much anymore because you can't sell them on Amazon anymore. They're all gated. But eBay, probably like 20, 25-ish. A decent little stack of games here. I already sold one game for 11 out of here. It was T2, the arcade game for Super Nintendo. Also came with a Super Nintendo controller. I paid, I think, 27 for the stack because he knew that this one was decently valuable. So Ocarina of Time, he didn't have any other N64 stuff. He just had like this random bag of games. That'll go for 30 on its own. UN Squadron just sold for $20.50. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Killer Instinct, RoboCop vs. Terminator, Super Godzilla, and a Super Game Boy, which that'll go for 30 on its own as well. And most of those games go for an okay amount. There was also a copy of Super Challenge or Super Play Football, which I couldn't quite get to work, but was fine because I've had a copy of Super Mario World forever that had like a smashed back. So I just took the back off of that and put it onto Mario, and Mario works now. So like if you ever had like a smashed game and like that Super Play Football or whatever, like Amazon, it was like going from $1.94 or something like that used. So it wasn't really worth selling, so it was worth cannibalizing. Like I don't usually like to do that, but I will for games that just won't sell. So we'll come back to that again. So I got a couple Beetleborg car slash like mechs. I want to call them Zords because like they're basically Power Rangers, but I forgot what they actually called them. So I think I paid $1 in a estate sale for these. I'm not sure how much they'll go for, but anything old Saban slash like Power Ranger family stuff goes for an okay amount of money. And then got some consoles back there. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 that's in very rough shape and I don't expect to work, and a 360, which I didn't have a hard drive, but I threw one on it. Still have to test it. I paid $55 at a yard sale. Came with a lot of these games. Some games over here too. I think the games alone will make the money back plus some, so not too worried if these systems don't work. I think the PlayStation definitely will, but the PS2 I don't expect to work, and the 360 I'm iffy on. And yeah, I'll show you the games in a bit. Got a copy of Harry Potter chess back there. I got that for $3. That goes up and down so often. I'll just say probably $30 at some point. Then got an original Xbox there. Paid $10. Got some of these games. I'm probably gonna confuse which games came with what, but $10 came with a few controllers. None of the games were like really worth it, so mostly bought it hoping I can test some controllers I've had, because these are bricks. They don't go for like too much. And shipping ends up being more than I get paid for on Amazon, so I always have to price it sort of high and just wait on it. But then below that, pretty great, Xbox 360 Halo 3 Special Edition. It's complete. Actually, it might be missing the AV cable, but that's not a huge deal. I have a bunch. And actually, it might be missing Halo 3. I might have a copy laying around. But yeah, that was pretty good. I paid no, I wanted to pay 100 with the calculator, but it was one of those situations where the mom just kept interfering in the son's deal. So he probably would have let it go for 100, but she insisted that the calculator was hers that she paid for like 7 years ago. It was a TI-84. She kept saying it was worth over $100, which they're not. They're worth about 50 to 70 like peak right before school. And now even like this one is becoming the standard, and that was just a normal one. So took it out of the deal, took a few of the cheaper games out of the deal, managed to get it for 80, I think. So I got the Xbox, got a red PS4 controller, a PlayStation Gold headset, which has seen, better days. It's probably got like a decent amount of use on it, but it'll still probably go for like 30, 40. Has the receiver. Make sure it has the receiver if you ever find one. I don't know why PlayStation didn't use Bluetooth for these, but whatever. But the PS4 controller will probably go for like 25, 30. I was thinking about keeping it. I'm not really sure. But also got a few games. All this PS4 stuff I'll show you that I'm going to keep some of. Overall, decent. I don't know how much the special edition Xbox is going for. I would guess at least 100. With the box, probably 130 maybe. In my experience with these special edition Xboxes. But yeah, so that was pretty good. And now we're going to get to kind of the crazier stuff / just the games. So I went to a yard sale in a town that I don't usually go to yard sales in because it's not great. But I showed up pretty late to this one. I think this was the last yard sale I went to on Saturday. And they had a ton of game stuff. He had a binder just full of games. I offered him $100 for it, but he just like couldn't wrap his head around it, so I had to pick out some games. And then I paid 80 for that, and then we went across the street and made a deal for this stuff for 100, which I think I might have got slightly swindled out of, because there was supposed to be Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I think he might have pocketed them. And I didn't realize when he was like, oh, I'll do 100 for this stuff. And I just didn't see him put those games away unless I somehow dropped them. But I think that's what happened. Either way, still a decent deal for $100. So start with this. We got Mario Kart 7 and Pokemon White 2. I mean, that right there is like 70 to 80 right now, I think. A Pokemon Yellow, which also didn't work. I don't know why both the Pokemon Yellows haven't worked today. Pokemon Blue, which works great. A Dead Battery Gold, which is still worth an okay amount. A Dead Battery Crystal, which is still worth an okay amount. I just sell them. I don't really want to mess around with the batteries. Contra, the Alien Wars, which is great. It's probably going to go for like 30 something on its own. Castlevania Adventure, they'll go for I think 15, maybe 20 is what I sold it for last. A pretty worn Wario Land 2. Some Neo Geo games, which like this year was the first time I've gotten one, but Pac-Man, King of Fighters R2, and Turf Masters. Plus, right there, Neo Geo Pocket Color. Missing the battery cover, but works fine. Game Boy Pocket, which also works fine. Game Boy Color, where the speaker doesn't work very good, but the jack works fine. So that'll go for a bit less, I think maybe like 30, 40. And then a Grape Game Boy Color, which that'll go for 45. I just sold one for 45. So It was about $100 for that stuff. I think there might have been like one or two other games, but this is the stack. Actually, I want to go through this stack last. So this is an $80 stack. That'll be the best one. And we'll go through the games that came with all these other consoles. So the broken Wii came with Mario Kart Wii, Lego Star Wars 3, so both okay ones. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So this stuff would have gone decent on Amazon, but now Activision and EA have gated all their used stuff. So some of the stuff I can't sell because I already have a listing for it, but I can't make new listings for like to make this like very good condition or anything. So I'm gonna have to put that stuff on eBay. So PlayStation Underground, Need for Speed 2, because I actually did write EA, but they were like, we're not gonna do that. Like, you bought a license to this game, it's non-transferable. It's like they're physical games for PlayStation 1, and they're just kind of jerks. So yeah, Need for Speed High Stakes. I did have decent luck. I lotted 6 PS2 Need for Speeds together, or 5, and sold it for like 50 something. So I guess that's just what I'll do now, is I'll just lot together similar games. So Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Fight Night Round 3, that Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, Need for Speed Underground. I grabbed this on a whim. I grabbed this, Skate 3. I think there's a copy of Disney Universe floating around somewhere. And another iPod. I wonder if I actually showed these in the last one. If I did, ignore that. Orange Box. There's another Skate 3. From Russia with Love. Nightfire. So like these, like EA games, like I'm just going to lot together James Bond EA games on Amazon. Hope for the best. Then over here, Wii Sports. So these came with the special edition. I'm going to sell that. Blood and Truth, I'm going to keep that. Ezio Collection, I'm going to keep that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, going to keep that. I have so many Assassin's Creed. Kind of ridiculous. There's Disney Universe. This is a decent little game to go for. I think that'll go for like 15. And then I also grabbed this. So yeah, I think I paid like $3 or maybe $4 for these games. Hulk PS3 version goes for a bit more, but Xbox One is decent. Sega GT 2002, Ford Racing 3, Midtown Madness, Mech Assault. So these came with that original Xbox. So as you can see, they're not anything special. Test Drive and Felt Fever 2003. That copy of Deadpool I mentioned, which I'm also going to keep. I played the PS3 version. Might as well play that one. Mario Kart Wii. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. There's that Twilight Princess I mentioned. So yeah, actually, I guess I didn't mention I bought the third Wii there, because it's technically 4 Wii's, one is broken. It's not in the video. I bought that at a yard sale for $20. Came with some of these games. Mario Kart was definitely one. This was one. This was one. This also came with a special edition Xbox. I couldn't remember if this one was worth it. It's the PS3 and the Xbox 360 one. I think this one is actually a completely different game. Unless I'm just not remembering if I've played this or not. I just could have swore this was like a 3D game, but this is like a 2D side scroller. Left 4 Dead. So Army 2, Gun, Condemned, Indiana Jones / Kung Fu Panda, Tomb Raider, Legend, Blazing Angels, NBA Ballers, Legacy of Kain Defiance, Glee Karaoke Revolution Volume 2, Def Jam Rap Star. These were the 2 games that came with the PS2 and the Wii. Disney Infinity and World War II Aces, nothing special. And then, yeah, I lotted these together. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, 2, 1 Game of the Year, Black Ops 2, and Ghosts. So those are all Activision. What's funny is I have some for PS3 listed, and they didn't get deactivated. And I don't know if like they're just not deactivating old listings, but I definitely can't make new ones. So just lotting these together. I think I'll do better on eBay anyway. And then, yeah, so back to these games. There's some pretty good ones in here, and some pretty okay ones that I wasn't sure about, like this one. Yanya Belisa City Skater. It's a skateboard game. I grabbed it because I had never seen a ESRB rated game with a silver disc like that on the top, so I just grabbed it. It's only worth like $5. But yeah, I paid $80 basically for most of these. Legend of Legaia, Soul Revert 2, Bujin Guy, Dot Hack, Infection. I guess he had already sold the other ones. He seemed like he told me he was a collector. He used to be a collector, so he's just trying to get rid of stuff. But he also like was talking about the value of everything. Yet I basically like paid nothing for most of these, but this already sold for $15. Innocent Life, Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, which I did not realize is worth about $50, $55. Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life Special Edition. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. This actually came from somewhere else, but this is a sealed copy of Wii Sports. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, always a great one. Crash 2, Crash Team Racing. This was one of the ones I didn't know wasn't good. It's like Shanghai True Valor. It's by Sunsoft. It's published by Activision, which is weird. So I was like, I'll take a risk on it. It looked like this one, which he told me was an RPG, but this is a Mahjong game. So that's going to go for about $5. Guardians Crusade. So this was like a weird one to me. Activision barely puts out RPGs, but he said it was. And it's going for about $40. So Fear Effect, all 4 discs. Resident Evil 2. So yeah, he just had a binder of this stuff. Wild Arms. He said he bought them from GameStop when they like were clearancing them. So Star Ocean Second Story, Wild Arms 2, and these are all complete discs. Obviously no cases, but Death by Degrees actually came with that stuff. I don't think it's really worth anything. And Showtime NBA also came with that stuff. Back to the other lot. Got Blaze Blue. I feel like these Blaze Blue games are really hit or miss. I'm not really sure how much they're worth, but I just tossed them in. So he also had a bunch of PS3 stuff. This was the only thing that seemed interesting enough to grab. So Blaze Blue, or Blaz Blue, whatever you want to call it. Continuum Shift Extend. Calamity Trigger. Persona 4. Arena Ultimax. This was one he was like, I basically offered him $5 more for it. He had 3 on it, and I was like, is this actually 3? He's like, no, are you kidding me? And then how the deal ended up working out, I basically paid $5 for it. But it is Jurassic Park, Operation Genesis for Xbox. This used to be like 2 years ago, like $50 to $80 game. I think it's floating around like 30 right now, especially without the art. So still great deal. These are actually back to this deal. So SmackDown 2, Siphon Filter, Rainbow Six, Tomb Raider 3, Tekken 3, Tekken 2, and then back to this deal. So I actually had a case to fill some of these games. So I had this case for Final Fantasy 7, so that's complete. Or no, missing the manual. Tony Hawk 2, and again I had the case for this. I think it is the Black Label version. This is technically the greatest hits, but better than nothing. And then I don't remember where I picked up another copy of Final Fantasy 7, but I did. So that was great. Crash Bash again. Like this is like the black label version, and I have it in the collector's edition thing. But yeah, Breath of Fire 3, Scooby-Doo Unmasked, and last is Crash Bandicoot. I just happen to have a manual for it, so put it in this case. But yeah, crazy amount of RPGs in there. I was also gonna grab Final Fantasy 8 and 9. They were all disc only. But he like overvalued them. So I basically took it from $100 deal. I took out Final Fantasy 8 and 9 and I paid $80. So that's everything. So there were some kind of intense things in there. There was a lot of stuff really fast. Yeah. So I had a pretty good one. I also want to, I guess, point out this came with the network connector that's been sitting up there. That alone is going to go for $30. So even at 80, so like that leaves 50, like this will go for 50. So decent deal overall there. But yeah, so that was a lot of stuff. I haven't tested about half of it, so I have to get back to that. I haven't tested any of this because I'm not sure that I have a power cord for those, and my Atari is not at this apartment. So we'll find out about that. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to post. This probably actually, yeah, that was the last yard sale this summer. So we're into fall yard sales now. I mean, this weekend was basically a fall weekend anyway because of how cold it was. But I think they're going to start trickling off a bit. This past 2 weekends were actually the best weekends of the summer in terms of numbers. So I think that's how I managed to get as much stuff as I did, because just quantity of yard sales is going to help you out. So if you live in an area that only has a few yard sales, but if you have to drive like an hour to get to a place that has a ton of yard sales, just do it, because it's just worth it to hit up multiple ones and ask. Always ask. Like this was an ask. Like they didn't have any video games, that it was all closed, and the son went and got that stuff. This was out, and the headset was out, but the controller wasn't out. The PS4 games weren't out. None of this stuff was out. They said they didn't even have video games, and then one of them was like, wait, does mom have like that Atari? So they went and got this and all this stuff. That was an ask. And I mean, this was a tell. The guy told me he had more stuff, and I actually ran out of money. He had way more stuff. I only had like $13 left, and he had like N64 and all, like Dreamcast. He had like all these other consoles. Like I probably could have spent $1,000, but I don't know. I ran out of money, and also it starts to get weird. Also, it was a town that is not great, so I didn't want to be there too long. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. And if I see that he has another yard sale, I will go again with hopefully more money. But yeah, so yeah, back to like 2 of the Wiis I got this weekend were an ask. And yeah, it's just always ask for stuff if you want it, because it's how I get probably 80% of the stuff I buy. So yeah, so again, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that jazz, and see everyone later. Bye.